You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted Best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900.
Thank you for joining us here on News 25 and Ace Country Radio and streaming at KPVM.TV. And now on Roku devices on this Monday, November 3rd, 2025. Good evening. I'm Chris Palermo. Here is what's happening. A downed power line in Pahrump today has caused power outages and closed some roads. The driver that hit the pole left the scene, and Anthony Roberts reports.
Just after 2 p.m. today, dispatch received reports of a downed power line. According to the caller, a large truck snagged a low-hanging power line on Barney Street near Sunset, snapping 2 power poles on each side of the road and bringing the line down. Traffic on Barney Street is currently closed in both directions while Valley Electric worked to restore power. When first responders arrived on scene, they found the downed power line, but not the vehicle responsible for the damage. It's still unclear at this time when power will be restored or how many residents are affected.
More news now locally. News 25's Haley Gravy has today's daily RS report, which includes a domestic violence incident.
On November 2nd, a man was arrested in connection with a domestic abuse incident. The suspect has been identified as Calvin Henry. According to authorities, the incident began as a verbal argument that escalated when Henry allegedly choked the victim. Fortunately, the victim did not lose consciousness and was able to escape, hiding inside her red Hummer H3. While she was inside the vehicle, Henry reportedly began punching the windows and attempting to get inside. When officers arrived, they observed a scratch on the victim's neck and marks on the window consistent with Henry striking it. Henry had left the scene prior to their arrival, though. A short time later, an officer noticed a vehicle without license plates. After stopping the car, the driver initially gave a false name before later admitting to being Calvin Henry. He was also positively identified by a tattoo on his chest related to Michael Myers. In addition to the domestic abuse charges, Henry was cited for not wearing a seatbelt. He was taken into custody and booked into Nye County Detention Center. He now faces charges of domestic battery, false statement to obstruct public officers, and failure to wear safety belt.
U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright made clarifications to statements made by President Trump last week regarding nuclear weapons testing and how it may affect Nevada. U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright is clarifying statements made on the Truth Central social media platform recently from President Trump regarding nuclear testing. On an appearance on Fox News on Sunday, Secretary Wright said that these are not nuclear explosions, these are what we call non-critical explosions. And this is of particular interest to Nevada residents, as he went on to say there will be no mushroom clouds. He elaborated further, Americans near historic test sites, such as the Nevada National Security Site, have no cause for concern. So you're testing all the other parts of a nuclear weapon to make sure they deliver the appropriate geometry and they set up the nuclear explosion. Trump said on CBS's 60 Minutes, Russia's testing and China's testing, they don't talk about it. Last week, China and Russia denied testing and have said they have not done so since 1990 and 1996, respectively. Well, it's Homeless Youth Awareness Month, and there was a special ceremony at the Welcome to Las Vegas sign to raise awareness, and Haley Gravy reports.
Clark County Commissioner Jim Gibson hosted a special ceremony at the Welcome to Las Vegas sign on Monday, November 3rd at 8 a.m. to raise awareness about youth homelessness. The iconic landmark will be lit in purple and gold in recognition of National Homeless Youth Awareness Month, honoring the strength and resilience of young people facing homelessness. Commissioner Gibson says the event is a reminder that far too many youth in our community live with uncertainty and danger every day. By lighting the sign, the county hopes to send a message of hope and support, reaffirming its commitment to helping young people find safety, stability, and a brighter future.
It was a scary, fun night at Lakeside Casino in Pahrump on Halloween night, and News 25 was there. Creative costumes are on display, and plenty of candy was given out. There was even a monster in the lake.
This past Halloween weekend, families gathered at Lakeside to enjoy the festive decorations alongside the park's residents and owners. Visitors were especially drawn to Lakeside's newest attraction, a Loch Ness monster floating in the lake, which quickly became a popular spot for photos and trick-or-treating. This year's theme was The Wizard of Oz, with Lakeside residents dressing up as characters from the classic film and transforming the park into a magical, family-friendly celebration.
Representing Golden Entertainment as the Wizard of Oz, we have Dorothy, the Tin Man, the Lion, and the Witch, and me. And we're just out here handing out candy, hanging out with the community, having a good time. I have been doing this 7 years, and we've been dressing up for 4 years. I was Gru, and we had the Minions 1 year, and then last year we were the Addams Family. So this year we did the Wizard of Oz, and I think it worked out pretty good.
15 years.
15 years.
What makes you guys want to keep doing this for 15 years?
Because of all the kids and all the fun we have. And, we get to be a little creative, right? So that makes it fun.
Organizers were thrilled with the turnout and are looking forward to next year's Halloween festivities.
All right, looks like it was a great time. Coming up, sports with Mikey and the weather forecast. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. Well, the Raiders almost won on Sunday. Unfortunately, almost only counts in horseshoes. Mikey Ruhan has that and more in sports.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. Trevor Lawrence went into Sunday's game against Las Vegas battling an illness, but somehow Jacksonville pulled off a 30-29 win over the Raiders. The Raiders will try to bounce back when they visit Denver to take on the Broncos this Thursday. Vegas Golden Knights are back in action Tuesday night, hosting the Detroit Red Wings. Speaking of the Knights, the team announced it will host its annual food drive out in Toshiba Plaza this Thursday before their matchup against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Puck drops at 7 p.m. Fans who bring non-perishable food items will get a special poster while supplies last. The Henderson Silver Knights are also joining in the cause at their game on November 5th at Lee's Family Forum. Congratulations to the LA Dodgers. They beat the Toronto Blue Jays in Game 7 of the World Series. The Tonopah Muckers demolished the Beaver Dam Diamondbacks 59-0. The Muckers improved their storybook season to a perfect 9-0 record. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
Thank you, Mikey. The historic Amargosa Opera House suffered severe damage at the hands of a monsoon. Fred Conboy is here to tell the community how they can help.
Hello, my name is Fred Conboy. I've been a volunteer for the Amargosa Opera House and Hotel for the past 25 years and currently serve as the president of the board of directors. And I'm here today, and first of all, I want to thank Michael Ruhan and KPVM TV for inviting me in to share my story. The reason I'm here today is really a call to action. Marta Beckett's Amargosa Opera House was severely damaged during a recent monsoonal flood. There was about 6 inches of water and mud that came in overnight, one night during one of those torrential monsoonal floods, and coated the entire surface of the floor with mud and water, and it took about 3 weeks for us to clean up and dry out. In any event, these things happen, unfortunately, too frequently. And we are in a kind of a crisis right now on how we can meet our expenses and continue to sustain operations that began back in 1968 when Marta Beckett, the artist from New York, first came to Death Valley Junction. So I'm reaching out to you, our friends and patrons in the community of Pahrump, and inviting you to please help support our efforts to raise some money to help continue our operations with the Opera House especially, but also the historic hotel that was built back in 1923. And so this today is inviting you both to support us with a financial contribution if you are able, but also to invite you to participate in our periodic events in the Opera House. I want to let you know that looking ahead, we have Marta Beckett's 58th anniversary event coming up on Valentine's Day, 2026. And this will be the first time that we're going to feature a tribute to the opera murals in Marta Beckett's Amargosa Opera House. There are 7 of them. Madame Butterfly, Boris Godunov, Carmen, Pagliacci, Aida, Siegfried from the Ring Trilogy, and Les Sylphides. In any event, that's coming up on Valentine's Day. Sign up on the homepage to receive our newsletter, and you can do that by going to our website. The other event that's coming up that's very intriguing is that we're going to be hosting the oldest high school band in the United States from Memphis, Tennessee, this spring, date to be determined, probably March. And this band is coming all the way from Memphis. They've played in every state of the union except California. And so they're going to be coming and performing a show in Marta Beckett's Amargosa Opera House. It's, as I say, the oldest high school band in the country. And so we hope you'll come out and join us for that show. But back to my reason for coming in today. Thank you very much for considering a donation to help support us as we try to sustain this incredible legacy that Marta Beckett began back in 1968. For those of you that have seen the astonishing murals in the Opera House, you know what a precious legacy it really is. And for those of you that have yet to visit, please come out. We have tours offered twice a day at 9 a.m. in the morning and 6 p.m. in the afternoon, every day, 365 days out of the year.
Coming up, a local business has a refresh, and we'll show you that in a bit. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
And welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. Okay, stick with me here because this next story is about a foot long. KPVM TV went to Subway to interview the manager about what has changed with the remodel to the restaurant.
Subway, located at 1520 Highway 372, just received a brand new makeover, bringing a fresh, modern look to go along with their always fresh food. News 25 had the opportunity to speak with longtime manager Carrie Johnson, who's been with Subway for 16 years, about the recent remodeling.
My name is Carrie. I've been the manager here at Subway for about 16 years. So we've been here for almost 20 years, part of the community, and we felt like it was time for an update to the store, so we had a total remodel. Everything changed. New tables, new wall coverings, new paint. Oh, and new equipment on the front.
During the interview, Carrie also shared how Subway continues to give back to the community, sponsoring a reading program at the local library and raising money for scholarships through the JAG program, where the owner mentors high school students and teaches them valuable job interview skills.
So Subway sponsors a reading program at the library every year. We also sponsor scholarships for the JAG program at the high school. And David himself comes out and speaks and mentors the kids at the high school. He comes and speaks with them and helps them do practice interviews and get ready to enter the job force.
And just in time for the holidays, Subway will be rolling out a new line of exciting sandwiches starting November 6th that many customers are eager to try.
This month, for November and December, we're going to have 3 new festive sandwiches. They're all going to have cranberry and stuffing. So you'll have to come in and see us and get your festive sandwiches.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
That's the Lerner and Rowe weather cam, and we're cruising down Route 160 in Pahrump. I am loving those beautiful sunsets. Mikey in the control room, what do you think these days? Do you like the sun?
It's a beautiful sunset, but you have to wrap this up because it's only 17 seconds.
Weather is sponsored by the Nevada Dairy Farmers and the Dairy Council of Nevada, sharing the love of all things dairy. Celebrate the best moments with milk. Milk the moment. And the weather is also brought to you by the Ponderosa Dairy, Nevada's largest dairy, fresh from our farm to your table.
Welcome back to News 25. Chris Palermo from the weather desk. And, well, Fernley hit 74 today, 43 for a low tonight. Fallon 76, Carson City 70 degrees, Tonopah 68, Goldfield Mining 70, Beatty not 80, it is 78. They're recovering from Beatty days. It was a great time up there this past weekend. Amargosa 83, Las Vegas, their low temp tonight 54. And it's 80 today in Vegas. Death Valley 90 with a low of 59. All right, well, it's 74. It is just perfect. And your sunrise, I'm a fan of that early sunrise. 6:09 a.m. and a 16% humidity. Wind is the southeasterly direction, 7 miles an hour. We had a high temperature of 82 in Pahrump and the region. And like I said, it's 74 degrees. Your sunset, kids, well, it went down just about, a half hour ago. 23% humidity, east-southeasterly wind direction, 8 miles an hour. Low of 54 degrees. Of course, some parts of the valley, it's going to be a little cooler. You know where you are and what that's going to be like. 80 degrees tomorrow, brilliant sunshine. Wednesday, a few clouds rolling in, 77, 76 on Thursday. Friday, 79, 80. Saturday, Sunday, gorgeous. Next Monday, 79. Lows in the 50s. Okay, so have we put on the heat yet? I don't think so. We're hardy souls out here. We've got a while before we do any of that. My general rule of thumb is we've got the air conditioning on until just about mid-November. That'll just about do it for all of us here tonight at News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. Make it a great night and a great week.